long record that just got out in the past October, put him back behind bars. But they did some very interesting things, including using an undercover officer in the cell next to him when they brought him in, when they arrested him for another crime. Then, of course, as I said before, the Apple bank robbery, the 4 members of the crime control who were shot. These are issues, these are events that certainly don't go unnoticed. But the common strain in all of these events that I just mentioned is guns. Guns are a huge problem, not only here in New York City, but in big cities throughout America. It is a challenge. If you read the Times, the front page story today on the fact that guns are going into big cities from the southern part of the United States. 90% of the guns that we confiscate on the streets of New York City come from out of state. They come from Virginia, they come from West Virginia, they come from Florida, they come from Georgia. We are doing everything that we reasonably can do to confront the problem, but it's not going to go away anytime soon. I always feel compelled to talk to any group about Operation Gunstop. That's a program that doesn't get all the publicity that it should. And that's where anyone knows of someone who has a gun, they can call the Gunstop number, or actually get it through 311 rather than give you the number. And if you tell us of someone who has a gun, and we arrest that person, we give you $1,000 cash, no questions asked. And that program, we'd like you to get that word out, not necessarily in this community, but in other communities that you might visit. We are going to sort of reinvigorate the advertising for this initiative. It's I can give you the actual number, 1-866-GUNSTOP. But again, you can get that through 311. That's $1,000, no questions asked. We give you a code number. You go to a bank, they give you actually a cash card. We have a Cash for Guns program where you can go into any station house and get $100, I should say, for any gun that is turned in. We are actively engaging people who sell guns. It's probably the most dangerous type of work in all of policing, and it's an undercover purchase of guns, of firearms, handguns. And last April, I had a press conference with the district attorney, Joe Hines, where we announced the arrest of 20 individuals and one police officer, one undercover police officer, putting his life on the line, able to purchase 153 guns. It really was a remarkable case, but that type of work goes on every day on the streets of our city. New York City police officers, undercover police officers, putting their lives on the line to do this sort of operation.
Next question is from someone who is wondering if there can be more enforcement regarding adults riding bicycles on sidewalks.
Yeah, it's a real problem, and that is a big issue. We have a program called Safe Cycle. Now, again, we're down 6,000 police officers, so sometimes it's challenging to address some of these quality of life concerns, but it is a danger. No question about it. I see it myself. I see it in my neighborhood. I happen to live in Manhattan. I did live in Brooklyn once, but I live in Manhattan now. And we are addressing it. We have a more or less a programmatic response. It's typical for police officers in radio cars to respond to that sort of issue when they're going from assignment to assignment. So we'll have conditions units, and we'll actually focus in certain precincts to have a focused effort in that regard. But we probably need more of it, and we'll be doing more of it in a programmatic fashion. Yeah. Well, I'll say in the near future, getting something built in the city, a public building is always a challenge. But I believe the latest plan is to rebuild the station house where it exists. That means you're going to have to move out to another location and then do construction on that site. That's the latest plan that's been put forward. That will take several years. The 70th precinct is been around a while, no question about it. We need many new precincts, many new buildings. We have about 250 buildings that we operate out of in the police department. And many of them are 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week buildings. They get a tremendous amount of wear and tear. We have buildings that we use that have been built in the 1890s. And the repairing and constant maintenance of these buildings is a major challenge. You can just imagine picking this budget environment. Do we need a new 78 precinct? Yes, we do. Do we need a new 66 precinct? Yes, we do. No question about it. What happens is in the budget talks, they'll have precincts in the plan, and then when a budget crisis comes up, they'll take the plan to build a precinct and move it to the next year. They'll move it to the out year. So you have this conflict. You're sort of like Pac-Man. You keep chasing the plan. So that's what tends to happen when you talk about building new precincts. But clearly, both the 66th and the 70th precinct need new facilities.
I'm actually happy to announce that we actually secured $250,000 to renovate the 66th police precinct in the upcoming fiscal year. The 70 actually declined the request because they're hoping for the brand new building. I'll leave you with one final question, and then we'll, if it's okay, move on to Inspector Sprague. The question is, we like you. Would you consider running for mayor in 2013?
Thank you very much. No suit.
No suit. All right.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Displaying exemplary leadership, Deputy Inspector Sprague was promoted to Sergeant in 1997, was assigned to the 120th Precinct. In 2000, he was made Lieutenant. In 2003, he advanced to the XO of the 63rd and 67th Precincts, and in 2006 was appointed CO of the 62nd Precinct. He's highly respected by officers throughout the command. This is something you can really witness, especially in some really tense situations that we've seen in the community recently. And in August 2007, he was promoted to Deputy Inspector, and earlier this year, he was assigned as the commanding officer here in the 66th Precinct. For those of us who live in our command, we're very grateful, and we're honored to have him lead what we believe to be one of the best precincts here in New York City. We actually, as many people know, elected officials, and we're kind of busy, and we do a lot of things, and we have a terrific staff, and I actually want to thank my wonderful staff, all of whom are here today, for the work that they did to put together this event. So one of the things that staff will do is, they'll write things. In some cases, on occasions, we'll do citations. On rare occasions, we'll do a proclamation. And so staff will actually get together, and they'll do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. In this case, we actually have a surprise proclamation from the Council of the City of New York for Inspector Sprague, which I personally wrote because I have such great esteem for the inspector. So we're going to present him with this proclamation. I think this says it all. The Council of the City of New York proclamation. Whereas the Council of the City of New York is proud to honor Deputy Inspector Sprague for his outstanding service to the community. Whereas we are a city made strong by the efforts of individuals, certain individuals, by virtue of their commitment and dedication, command the respect and admiration of their community for their exemplary contributions and service on behalf of others. And Deputy Inspector Sprague, CO of the 66th Precinct, has shown great leadership since joining the NYPD in 1991, and has established himself as an unwavering leader who rises to even the greatest challenges. And Deputy Inspector Sprague has played an instrumental role in ensuring the safety of our community and fostering strong relationships between the officers under his command and the residents they protect. And Deputy Inspector Sprague has demonstrated great professionalism, clarity under extreme pressure, and superior leadership during recent high-profile crimes in our community. And whereas Deputy Inspector John Sprague is an exemplary police officer, a model leader, and a dedicated public servant, he has truly distinguished himself in his service and leadership, and he is worthy of the esteem of all New Yorkers, and now therefore being known that the Council of the City of New York most gratefully honors Deputy Inspector John Sprague for his outstanding service and contribution to the community. Signed, Christine Sequin, Speaker David Greenfield, Brad Lander, Vinny Gentile, and Dominic M. Raphael Jr.
Is that honking? That's a good one.
You didn't read the question about the double park.
I believe it relates to the incident that occurred on September 2nd. There was a previous incident with this individual that was reported on August 26th. It is currently under investigation by myself. I'm personally overseeing this investigation. And we're going to interview all the parties, and we have been interviewing all the parties face-to-face to get the exact facts and the correct story. And make no mistake, if there's any deficiencies or wrongdoing or report should have been filed, it will be corrected, and it will be corrected in the most deliberate fashion. We do not tolerate if an officer is going to respond to a location and not take a report. It's unacceptable for me, and it's unacceptable for the police department. We rely on our crime statistics and reporting. That's how we deploy our resources, that's how we target our enforcement. And when the officers fail to do that, it's addressed quite rapidly and effectively, and it will be corrected.
We appreciate
I've been around a number of years. Many of you may not know, but I served in the state senate before the city council. But we have a whole new group of exciting councilmen, and particularly here in Brooklyn. And the other one, who's the dynamic guy in our borough, is Councilman Brad Lander. He really has done a great job. He's still there he is. So with that, let me thank you, Dave Greenfield. And I didn't know that your office came equipped with a catering hall, but that's a good thing, I guess, right? Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Comes equipped with the hall, but no food, unfortunately. So we have to settle for jelly beans. You know, before I ask my colleague, Councilman Brad Lander, to come up, I just want to recognize two of the greatest detectives as well that we have, our Detective Melisi and Galino, who are doing terrific work here in the community as well. And I'd like to ask my colleague Brad Lander to offer some greetings as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Let's again thank David for bringing us together here tonight, and getting the commissioner to come out here. It's really been my honor for the past few months to serve this community and to get to work with this great team at the NYPD. I just want to reinforce a couple of things that the commissioner said, because I can really confirm at sort of the kind of high and low levels just what they're doing. So the prior Deputy Commissioner for Counterterrorism, Rich Falkenrath, is an old college friend of mine. And while he's gone, I got a good insight from him of just how much they're doing that they can't show or tell us. And so I think we've got a good sense of that here tonight. They really have an unbelievable program that is more sophisticated than anything else basically anyone has done in the world, protecting us right here in New York City. And so at that level, but also I will confirm I have several friends, but people I know who have been ticketed for riding their bikes on the sidewalks. So I can confirm, though I still have never heard anyone get a violation for horn honking, that you can get a ticket for riding your bike on the sidewalk in New York City. But mostly it's the in-between level. I mean, not counterterrorism or bikes on the sidewalks, but the work that the detectives and the officers, Inspector Sprague and Chief Fox are doing every day. You know, one of the first things that Inspector Sprague did when he got here was put a beat cop back on Church Avenue in Kensington, where there hadn't been one in a while. People said, you know what, it makes a big difference. Back there makes a big difference right away. I will mention the 6-6 precinct, you also have one other secret weapon. The CO of the 7-8 precinct lives here and made a street arrest in Kensington, maybe a month or two back, John Argenziano. So they're deploying every resource that they can here. And I would just add, representing not only Boro Park, but also the Kensington section of 6-6, that trying to deal with the diversity of this community in a productive way and make everybody feel safe and address all the issues that come from a community like ours with a wonderful Orthodox Jewish community, with Muslim, Bangladeshi, and Pakistani communities. I think they really do a model job of helping that diversity be trained.